Hello and welcome to Furious Driving, and you join me today in a car that is literally a one-off, a unicorn if you will, thanks to this gentleman here. This is Mr. P-Scan.
Hello.
Philip is the P in P-Scan, a bit of a genius.
It wasn't really, but anyway.
He's better than I am at this kind of stuff. Who created the P-Scan computer and then used that knowledge to create the world's only 4-cylinder petrol automatic Mk1 Freelander. Because of the very niche requirement of living within the Eurozone, his wife wanting a Mk1 Freelander but not driving manual. So he had to make his own, which in the old days wasn't too tricky because all you do is you go and buy a gearbox, bolt it to the engine and away you go. These days though, with all the computers and things that make cars work, it's a little bit more tricky because everything has to talk to everything else. And, well, it can be something of a nightmare. And actually sort of around my house about a year ago?
Yes, I think it must.
Yeah, pulling wires out of my Rover 75 because a lot of the parts that have been used are Rover 75 parts because the Freelander and the 75 actually share a lot of common components. So it's an interesting thing. So,
well, this has actually got a Rover 75 engine ECU.
Okay, well,
I needed to reverse engineer some of how your one was working because it was in a running driving car.
Yes, and yours was not.
Well, I just had an ECU, not an actual car.
A brain in a jar.
Yes.
So, run me through the bits that you used for this because obviously it's a Freelander, and so you've got.
Okay, so it is a standard 1.8K series engine with. The next thing in a drivetrain is the flex plate or flywheel, which is a V6 flywheel,
right,
with a 1.8 centre boss welded in the middle of it.
Okay, did you do that yourself, or did you have to get someone to?
No, I did that.
Wow. Okay.
Then that goes through a V6 torque converter into a V6 gearbox. There was quite a lot of machining to get everything lined up and an adapter plate. From the V6 gearbox there is a 1.8 transfer box back to V6 drive shafts because the gearbox is in a different place on a V6.
Okay, yeah.
And then finally the drive gets to the wheels.
Wow, okay.
Rover 75 engine computer.
Yep.
The timing for the computer is what is it? It's a 1.8 manual Rover 75 flywheel with a centre cut out. So I had to cut everything away except the teeth.
Right.
And then that's welded to the outside of the torque converter so the computer works.
Gosh.
What else? A custom fan controller because fans are done differently. And a lot of wiring. Basically, I stripped all of the automatic stuff out of a V6.
Wow.
And grafted it in here. So it's all basically stock wiring loom from the gearbox computer to the gear selector.
Because Land Rover never did a 4-cylinder petrol with a automatic gearbox, did they?
The Rover 75?
Or the Freelander?
No, not a Freelander, no.
You could buy a 4-cylinder diesel with an automatic, but you couldn't get a petrol. I wonder why they made that decision, only the V6.
I think it's because they already had the V6, so...
It was just off the shelf.
Yeah. It would have been a niche of a niche, wouldn't it?
It would, wouldn't it, I guess, yeah. I suppose more people buying this kind of car at that time weren't going to spec an auto, so...
If the V6 Auto had been ULEZ compliant, I probably would have just bought one, but it isn't.
No, it's an even bigger engine making even more emissions.
So for driving in London, the 1.8K series is a true niche amongst Freelanders. Even with the Freelander 2, you have to go up to the 3.2 V6 or something.
It's funny, isn't it? Yeah.
But considering how thrown together it is with various bits of metal cut up with angle grinders and stuff that doesn't really balance and bits from scrapped cars, and the gearbox was a complete unknown.
Oh yeah, it's Breakers Yard Special.
And it just drives beautifully.
It does. I'm really impressed. I mean, we're taking it down the road, I'm not thrashing it or anything, but it feels and it drives virtually the same as my old Hippo, the diesel one did, which was an automatic as well. If you hadn't told me it was a, homemade, homebrew, I wouldn't have realised at all. Incidentally, this is the first time this is off-roaded.
Yes.
To any degree.
Indeed it is. And my wife absolutely loves the thing, so that's a win.
Yeah, it's a great thing to drive. Because previously you had that silver one. I did a video of comparing the pre-facelift to the post-facelift Mark
Kind
ones.
of, yeah, the graphite grey one.
That's right, yeah. Which is your car, which is now for sale?
Yes, it's going to be up for sale very shortly. That needs to go. I need the space on my drive for another project.
Because that was a 1.8.
No, it's a TD4.
TD4. Oh, okay, yeah.
It was absolutely the best Freelander I could find at the time. But then 3 months after I got it, they announced that the ULEZ was expanding to where I live.
Ah, so it's not been used that much since then?
Well, it hasn't been used since this has been on the road.
Ah, yeah.
So yes, that was going to be for sale, and I think it might be one of the best TD4s around. Because, you know, I bought the best I could find.
Well, yeah, and looked after it and continued to make it better, I imagine.
I've done very little to it, actually.
Oh, really?
Well, no, I say that. It has got a brand new clutch and dual mass flywheel.
Yeah.
But it was very good when I got it. It didn't need much.
I'm hoping we can turn around at some point, because it's getting quite a long way in here now.
It's doing very well, isn't it?
Surprisingly well. I'm going to try and do a three-quarter turn here, because I don't want to back out all the way here.
Yeah, if we get bogged completely,
We are stuck, yeah. Quite a big ditch there, let's not drive into that. It's amazing how capable a Freelander is. Whoops, we're going quite sideways now. Brilliant cars. I've got to get another one. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's go on the high bit, not on the low bit. It's actually really impressive, isn't it?
it's very slippery out there, isn't it?
Yeah, the car is just going sideways at times. But going back to the gearbox, this is handling it so well. Like, as you said before we set off, if you drive this car gently, it just does everything you expect an automatic gearbox to do, which is just shuffle through the gears smoothly. But it's not really a performance box.
So the interesting thing about that is, I was told the problem with Freelanders and off-roading is that you can't go slow enough. Because they don't have a transfer box, so you end up slipping the clutch all the time. But I think that this solves that problem.
A lot of off-roaders do prefer an auto because you can go at like 0 miles an hour and just be trickling along. You don't have quite the same finesse always because you can't just balance between the clutch and the accelerator. You're kind of holding it on the brake and accelerating and juggling the traction as it comes and goes. But this has done fine. This is incredibly slippery in the car. The gravity has not been on our side in some of those places, and it's just kept on going. But the 4x4 system on this car is quite clever with the viscous coupling and everything, and the way it works with the traction control. Some wild peak all-terrain tyres would certainly make it a little bit less slippery. But generally it's really good. But as I say, at low speeds driving normally, it's really good. But as you said, if you hoof it and go...
It's a bit Jekyll and Hyde. It either sort of uses the torque of the engine, and it probably thinks it's a V6.
Yes, so it's waiting for that torque.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's, I don't particularly want to drive along screaming.
No.
But it drives like that, or if you keep pushing it and pushing it, then suddenly it goes into like I want 6,000 RPM kind of mode, and there's not much in between.
No, it just turns petrol into noise. Not much else.
If I floor it, it actually does all right.
Okay, so 0 to 60 time.
Well, maybe 0 to...
35. That's almost 7,000 RPM for a shift. That's impressive. That is hilarious. So it does turn petrol into noise.
Yes.
But it's a lot of fun doing it.
It gets off the line all right. I mean, it's quick enough that it's not an embarrassment in traffic.
No, quite, yeah. So, looking under the bonnet, this is your standard 1.8 K series as you find in a Freelander with all the ancillaries you'd expect.
Completely unmodified.
Yeah.
Except that the downpipe I had to extend very slightly because the engine is slightly higher.
Oh, with the auto box?
Yeah,
Okay.
the V6 engine is higher than a K series in the engine base. So
Yeah.
so basically everything has to be indexed off the gearbox. That's the
Right.
one thing you can't move.
Yeah.
Because all the drive shafts and prop shafts and all of that stuff,
It's all fixed.
which go to fixed bits of the car.
you
So
have
the
to work
gearbox has
backwards
to be where it would be on a V6,
Yeah.
and the engine just has to
And
move.
you have to adjust. Did you have to make those new mounts
Well-
or adjusters for the mounts?
That's the bottom of the mount cut off and put on the other side. So the whole engine is, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches higher.
Okay.
And it's a bit further over. You see, there's not much clearance between the
Yeah, it's tight, isn't it?
power steering and the body.
The four cylinders do sit really low in these cars normally.
They do.
So it's good for ground clearance, for centre of gravity.
But that's where it had to be.
Yeah, of course, that's where it mounts up. And the gearbox down here really can't see anything
Yeah, it's
unusual,
all
can
under.
you?
Well, this is all a bit custom made because I had to plumb in a transmission oil cooler,
Oh, okay.
which wanted to sit in the same space as the thermostat on a K series.
That's all good.
It is, because obviously a K series doesn't have a transmission oil cooler, and an oil cooler doesn't have a K series. So that was a bit of a head scratcher because I didn't see that one coming.
No. So where is it living now?
Well, this sort of all had to move up and nearer to the rad a bit,
It's all just squeezed in somehow.
and bent around the bracket to make things fit.
And is that a custom-made plate on the back of the gearbox I can see just there?
Yes, that's the adapter plate,
Yes.
which is a little bit thin. I can't remember how thick it is, maybe 6mm steel.
It could have been thicker.
Well, I'm running out of room though.
Yeah, made it any thicker that way, going to run out of engine. And so the electronics, where are they all living now?
It's all in here.
Okay, so you've got the Rover 75 ECU.
Rover 75 engine ECU, Freelander V6 gearbox ECU. And you can see there's a bit of wiring that needs tidying up there
That's still an ongoing project.
because that's all stock V6 wiring that I grafted in.
That's pretty clever stuff.
Yeah.
Did it need much reprogramming, or is it all just to do with the routing of the wires and connected things?
Yes, so I had the help of a very clever fellow called Andrew Revel, who modified the Rover 75 ECU for me.
Right.
Basically, it started and ran just as a Rover 75 ECU, but things like all the ABS warning lights come on, and you don't get the it's got different programming on it for the hill descent and traction control. So
you need all that things taken from the Land Rover to make.
yeah, we had to take bits of code out of the Freelander ECU and graft them into the Rover 75 ECU, and Andrew is very, very clever at these things.
I'll quickly take around the back of the car because this is where most people, when Andrew starts telling you that you need to do coding stuff, will be a bit confused. Philip, though, he created this thing, P-Scan. You've probably seen me use it on various Freelander and Rover videos over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the only computers you can still get that will talk to a Freelander or a Rover.
Indeed. I maintain that it is the best diagnostic tool for the Freelander one.
Yeah. I was quite surprised, having used it on
yeah.
various Rovers. I didn't realise I would
Short
need
of the factory tool,
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else on the market that can that can touch these, really.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, because this is a strange crossover kind of time, because it's not the modern OBD system, is it? It's the same shaped plug,
yeah,
but it doesn't do the same things.
Well, the petrol ones are OBD2 compliant, actually.
Are they?
But that's only good for the engine.
Not the rest of the car.
And only the emissions stuff. You don't get in depth.
Yeah, your immobiliser, your gearbox, the windows, the locks, all that kind of stuff.
Indeed.
So things like the rear glass getting confused and needing resetting, and the central locking getting confused.
Yeah, I can do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Basically, it does 95% of what the dealership tool does. I wouldn't put a dealership tool on this because I don't. Now it's a mixture of 3 different vehicles. I don't know what it would do.
No, it would get really confused.
It might try to make it all back to factory. I think it'd be a very dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, suddenly you've got no car.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool. This is incredible. It's really bizarre to think this is basically, I thought at the beginning, a one-off, a unicorn car. Only automatic 4-cylinder petrol, Mk1 Freelander in the world, unless anything that Dunton or Gaydon exists they experimented with and we don't know about, or it's just tucked in a collection somewhere. It's the only one that's driving around on the road right now. And if anyone asks you to build one for you,
no, I wouldn't. I think I'm done with that.
Is there a build series you've got anywhere that people can follow?
There is a thread on the Landy Zone. If you Google, I think if you just Google 1.8 Auto Freelander, I think it's the top hit.
Yeah, and I'll take it.
And you can
really
read,
want to do that.
You can see all of the pictures and all of my angst at the various things that, there's a lot of stuff to read through, but it's all there.
It is an astonishingly technical job to do because, so the mechanical part of it is daunting for most people. Anyone mechanically minded could look at that and go, yeah, I can put that together. But it's when you get to this bit here, that's when it gets incredibly confusing and things maybe start going.
I was building this in a garage with a professional mechanic working in the other half.
Oh, really?
And he only told me when I'd finished it, he thought I wasn't going to work.
You're wasting your time.
But he was polite enough to tell me afterwards.
Oh,
but
nice of him. Is he comfortably amazed now?
Yeah, actually the first drive video that we did of this on my channel is him driving it. But I think it was when we had a whole wiring loom hanging out the side of the bonnet. People looked at that and thought, it's crazy.
Never coming back.
Maybe I am.
You'll be weighing that in the next 6 months. But no, here we are now with a running, driving, off-roading Freelander, which is ULEZ compliant and automatic, which shouldn't exist. The one thing I didn't ask, this is originally a manual 1.8, so this is the gear shifter out of the V6 Land Rover?
Yes, it's a V6.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that's one thing we didn't talk about was the interior aspect of it.
It's just a V6 shifter.
Everything else is standard, unmodified, unchanged.
And in fact, the hole in the centre console is exactly the same.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I didn't really have to do anything.
The incredible thing is, that although it's a completely different engine to my 2-litre diesel, the way it drives is exactly the same.
Okay.
It feels just like my factory 4-cylinder diesel automatic Freelander did.
But you didn't really like that as an automatic, did you?
No, I would have really preferred a manual on it. But this feels factory. This feels how it should. I mean, it's partly my own sort of anti-auto bias. I've never truly been satisfied with any automatic. Even my C-Class with its 9-speed M-tronic thing, it still frustrates me half the time. But yeah,
I think automatics work better if you have at least 200 bhp.
Yes, that's just over. The Mercedes, it's like 201, I think.
This doesn't quite qualify,
no.
But on the other hand, when you live in London and the traffic is so awful,
then it's fine, isn't it? And you're never going to be nailing it places anyway.
No, you're just worrying about speed cameras and
keeping it on
20 mile an hour zones all the time.
It's very ideal, isn't it?
It is absolutely perfect for that.
One thing that was quite curious is that with mine, I noticed a few times, or every time I drove it when it was cold and from cold, it would hang on to first and second gear for a really long time. So people would think, why is that idiot redlining his diesel Freelander?
This didn't do that at first, I think, because we'd only been driving it in warmer weather, but it started doing it. So I think it is reacting to the colder temperatures.
It's just the thing, it does. Someone told me, you suggested it, and someone else I think told me as well, they thought it was to do with mean the oiler gearbox.
I don't. Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Well, kickdown works.
And being electronically controlled, it is. Once you get in tune with it, it's quite intuitive. You can kind of. I mean, you can flip it over to completely manual mode.
You do the shuttling through the.
If you push it to the right, it's got. It's
down for back for lower. And it's a 5-speed, isn't it? This?
Yes.
It's amazing how factory this thing feels. It's almost like a car that, if you hadn't told me it was modified, I wouldn't realise I was driving a modified car, if that makes sense.
It's a little bit noisier than it should be. Bit of a growl that shouldn't be there. I think it's on the input side of the gearbox, so maybe it's got a noisy oil pump or something.
Oh, right, okay.
As I said, it is scrap parts basically.
Yeah. Well, that's the most brilliant thing about building a car from scrap parts, and then it works. And it's so rewarding.
It was a massive risk.
I suppose though, if you found once it was up and running, you had put it together with the wrong stuff, you could have then replaced that one element and
Indeed.
got everything else up and running. But obviously, don't want to be taking
To me,
again.
the gearbox sounds like it's a little bit unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
But we've driven it a few thousand miles over a few months now, and it's not got any worse. So
yeah, well, I'm again comparing it to my diesel one, which has got the same box in it, and that always sounded a little bit shouty, but it just had a little bit of a metallic sound to it, I thought.
Yeah.
Which I think was just the gearbox.
Interesting. So maybe it's just how they are.
Possibly, yeah. The funny thing with these cars is they do sound and feel a bit more agricultural than a similar hatchback car of the same era and the same components.
Maybe one day I'll find someone with a V6 one that's stock and see how that sounds.
That would be the way to do it. The thing that always got me with the diesel one was it was the same engine that you find in a 3 Series, but it sounded like a Land Rover. It sounded like a Defender when it was idling and revving.
Yes.
But in a 3 Series it sounds smooth and quiet and refined. But in the Freelander, they made it sound more tractory.
It's such a shame we couldn't have stuck with our TD4, to be honest, because it's the second one we've had, and they are absolutely fantastic.
Oh, they're brilliant. I think it's probably the best engine in a Freelander. It really suits it well.
So we did a building project a few years ago, and I was towing trailers with 2 tons of rubble with the thing, and
it didn't care.
It didn't care.
No. They're great engines. A really well sorted engine that's just the right power band and power amount for that car. But yeah, so it's a shame it's not compliant.
So as you see, we're going slightly uphill here. If you don't use the accelerator too much, it does hold on to it tries to use the torque of the engine, if you see what I mean.
It's not changing down, is it?
But it will, if you want to go a bit quicker, it will.
If I just nudge the throttle, it just jumps.
Drop
2 gears and 1,000 revs. So thank you for it. This has been an amazing experience on a really unusual car. I'm so glad to have driven it. And autos aren't my bag, but this is a really clever conversion. I've really had a lot of fun driving. Well, thank you for this. And if you want to check out the P-Scan, if you've got a Freelander that needs some lights turning off or some things tweaking, check out pscan.uk.
Pscan.uk, yes.
Yeah. I always add the code, get lost. But don't add the code. Well, thank you for bringing it down. And we'll catch you again in the next video very soon indeed.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for coming.